Yeah, well, I will introduce you, Paige, since we just kind of got
Yeah.
into chatting. Um, and I'll let you like say a little bit about yourself as well. Just from what I've seen, though, your Paige Hernandez is killing it on social, but in a very like authentic, natural way of just helping people. I see you get recommended all the time in groups and communities when somebody says, I need a DSCR loan or I need a short-term rental loan. I see your name get mentioned all the time. So I'm sure that's something that it took you a while to build up. So I'd love to hear a little bit about that. But
Yeah.
I don't actually know. I think you work for your own brokerage, but I don't actually know the name of it. I
Yeah.
apologize, but
Yeah.
maybe
No,
you could just share that with us.
So disappointed you don't remember my
I
name.
know. It's not that I don't
that's a
remember. I honestly looked for it and I didn't see
you
it.
probably won't find it, right? I'm a bigger fan of building your personal brand than you are your company brand. So, well, one, you can go anywhere, right? Now, I'm not going anywhere because I work for my mom. My mom opened our mortgage company in '93, so I've been doing this my whole life. But nobody knows who or what I work. Like they could go Google it, go to NMLS, you could find it, but that gives me autonomy and I can go wherever I want. And people do business with people, they don't do business with logos or with companies. And so, that is probably why you'll never know where I work. But yeah, like Chrissy was saying, I do investor centric financing, mostly on the mortgage side, doing a lot of debt service and fix and flip and stuff like that. Really enjoy that side of the business as opposed to like a traditional mortgage because these kind of clients, they're not really emotional. This is business decisions and they buy a lot more. And so, or they're refinancing or we're like repositioning debt. And so it's the opportunity to work with the client over and over and over again instead of just like once every 5 to 10 years when they're buying a primary house. And so it's like a stream of business. I guess I can share with you guys, and you guys can tell me like where your interests lie the most. If you guys want to learn how to do business online, if you want to learn more about investors and, particularly helping them grow their business so that you can generate more income, what would you like to learn the most about?
Well,
Greg, what do you want to learn about? So these guys, both of these guys are pretty seasoned with investors. So I would say
Are
maybe
are you guys growing online on Facebook or social?
yeah,
And then,
can I say something?
yeah,
Um, so I have the largest group on LinkedIn for hard money, private money,
okay.
and it started in 2008. We have about 14,400 members, and that's just in the group. I on LinkedIn have over 20,000 connections, as they say, and yeah, I'm always looking for ways to build it bigger and expand it and help more people. And I'm pretty well known in the industry, and so been at it a long time. But so that's basically it. So if any little tidbit I could learn, any little golden nugget that helps to move it along a little bit, I'm always open to that.
Okay. Well, you could probably teach me LinkedIn because I have a whole feeling around LinkedIn. I cannot figure out what people do over there. I'm like, what do you all talk about over here? Like, I cannot figure out how to get in the groove over there. But I can show you some stuff over on social or on Facebook that you might be able to do in your group, or if you ever want to come over to that platform. And yeah. And then Greg, what most interests you? And you can tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I've been doing deals for a long time, but I've kind of been old school, just finding deals, kind of face-to-face meetings around Houston where I live.
Mhm.
And now I'm trying to get, more and figure out how to do the social media stuff and use that to generate business.
Yeah, one of the things I love about being online is that you're not limited by space and time. And so if you have to be belly to belly with people, there's only so many places you can be, and there's only so many locations. And so, depending on where you live, I'm grateful I live in California, but I really don't lend here because sometimes investors, it's not investor friendly state, and
Yeah.
getting the numbers to work out here is a little bit more challenging. But let's pretend I'm in like Indiana somewhere. Indiana doesn't have the highest loan amounts. And so I might have to do a lot of volume if I'm location dependent, or I can network via the power of social media into high loan amounts. And so for the past couple of years, I've had this mantra, like more money, less effort, more money, less effort, and really started to focus on higher loan amounts. And so my average loan amount last year was 450 something. This year it's over 750. So just that
Nice.
right there, like doubled the production, right? So I'm having my biggest year I've ever had. Right now, I'm like 20 mil, just shy of 20 million in 7 months of the year. My highest year to date was 18 and change. So I'm like, all right, something's happening. And part of that is like that hyper focus and mantra around more money, less effort, and how do I get into bigger markets? So that's the power of social. Love that. And then also, you know, it works kind of like a drip campaign and stuff
20
gets
million
out
so far.
there and like evergreen and stuff like that. One of my favorite like strategies in marketing as far as being online, like Chrissy said, she's like, I always see you, like everybody's referring you. And this was 100% by design. I learned this tool in marketing. It's called social proof. It's the idea that like everybody's going to trust somebody else, like their peer, over like me. So what I did in these Facebook groups is like I was in a Facebook group for short-term rental because I own short-term rental. And then I started to notice everybody was asking like, who are you using for debt service or for mortgage? And sure, I could put my name, like I can help you, but it's like, okay, everybody
No.
does that, right? And so at that time, this was years ago, I didn't have any clients in these groups. So I like added my friends. I was like, hey, do me a favor. When they ask who's using for mortgage, comment my name. And so I would take that one post and I would send it. At the beginning, it was just friends. Now I have a ton of clients in there. And my clients, I feel like they're trained. They know like if you see a post that has me, because I've asked them so many times, they like, yeah, I comment your name, I got you. And the cool thing about that is it's not just like some of these big groups, it's not just the original poster, it's everybody else that's looking in the feed. And so when there's like, I'm like, hey, I can help you. But when you've got 5, 10 people that are like, you need to work with Paige, something happens in their brain. They see that. And then what they do is they go over to my regular profile, like we were talking about. As soon as you see somebody in DM, we are become like online sleuths. We're going to investigate them. So then they come over to my profile, they binge the content, they decide in their head, oh, I want to work with her. There's nothing I can say, need to say, anything like that that's going to change their mind. They've already decided it. When the client decides that, one, they reach out to you, which is nice because I don't like to hear no. And so I rarely hear no from a client. So it makes my day-to-day business very good. They also rarely will shop me. Like I rarely lose a client for price. They typically don't shop because they made that decision. It's not like I sold them on something and then they're like second guessing. Oh, well, maybe, maybe not. It's like they made that decision for themselves. And then they're inviting that conversation with me because they're typically reaching out to me in DM. And then they've now given me carte blanche to ask whatever questions I need to ask or to continue to follow up with them because they invited that conversation. We were just talking earlier about, I was talking about boundaries when you sell online and how this is why I don't like LinkedIn. I think it's the spammiest of all spammy platforms out there. If I'm being honest, I'm like, if one more person comes and hits me up in DM and tries to recruit me or sell me or whatever, I'll poke my eyes out over here. Because I really think of all the platforms it lacks, like because it's sales driven, like there's like we've kind of forgotten that maybe there should be some like manners or at least some sort of consent ahead of time. But as long like I have this idea when somebody has invited the question, you can now pursue them. I really don't like hitting people up in DM if they haven't asked for this information ahead of time. Let's see what else can like sorry if I'm like blowing you a little bit out of the water with my commentary around DM being spammiest of all platforms.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, good.
You don't find that on Facebook? Like, are you in a bunch of the groups? Because sometimes I find that too, where it's like kind of gets that LinkedIn sort of vibe where people are asking something and then, call me. I guess that's where you come in when people are recommending you. Or if you look at your message requests ever, I'm like, oh man, all of these people have asked me things. And like, I'm a broker. And like, you still need a loan. I'm like, I didn't ask for a loan.
Yeah, I get it sometimes. Every once in a while, I'll get stuff like that where yeah, the messaging might get crossed a little bit. The cool thing too is like people like in the thing when they've decided they're going to work with you, the things that they say when they open their message is like, you come highly recommended. Everybody seems to want to work with you. Like, then it's like they don't ghost you. It switches a lot of the power dynamic within the relationship. So I think it creates just a business that flows a little bit better. Since you guys are working with investors, I don't know if you guys do any like fix and flip into debt service loans. But I love that model, the Burr model, because it like opens up like two
Yeah.
loans in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. As far as that goes, really showing clients how to do that, especially if they want to scale, because a lot of the times, or even sometimes that's the stuff that I put out on social is like, how do I help you scale? Because that's like usually, they can do one or two like they buy one or two investments and then they get maxed. Like, where am I going to come up with another 20% down? Like, how often can I actually buy an investment property if I got to do 20% every time? And then it's like, well, let me show you 10% down with a rental loan, and then let's pull that money back out so you can do it again.
Yeah. If anybody calls me to buy a turnkey, rental property, I say, no, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Don't
Right.
do it.
Because
I'll
I
show you
like,
how to put half the money out, and maybe take some back.
yeah, and it's in your best interest. So then you can continue to like do more deals with them, right? And it's like being a little bit more
Strategic.
or yeah, exactly. I was gonna say smart, and I was like, that's not exactly the word I was looking for, but strategic around, how do we milk this cow more so that everybody wins. Um
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how long did it take before you really started to notice? Like, how consistent were you on social media before you started to actually like see that kind of ROI?
Yeah, well, I hang out on social. I think that sometimes when people want to build on social and they're not hanging out on social, I can usually tell if they're having like I'm not getting
Yes.
any, yeah, I'm not getting any traction. And then I can go over to profile. I'm like, where are you? Like, you like, I like online because I have a little bit of social anxiety, so I don't really like to be in person with people. But I can hang out like on Facebook, and sometimes like my stuff I'm talking like the stuff I talk about is nonsense, like not nonsense, but it has nothing to do with mortgage, right? And it'll be like my hot take on some random stuff. But even that part of like, I don't want to say like the doom scrolling or whatever, like I hang out there. And it's really like my goal is to get people in my algorithm. It's kind of a game for me. It's like I want my stuff to get in their algorithm so that the next time they have a mortgage question or a friend of theirs has a mortgage question, I become the first person that they think of. And so I legit like hang out in the feed or like up in stories, commenting, liking, and looking at people's kids going back to school right now. So that like I'm either first top of mind. If I'm building within groups, like when I first started to build in Facebook groups and I didn't know anybody there, it was like brand new for me. And I needed to build up connections. My goal was to show up in comments enough, like an active member of the community, so that I'm hoping they friend request me. Like if they're like, ooh, then I'm gonna friend request her. I'm like, ooh, yay, like you asked to be my friend. Now you can see all my content. Like this idea of consent, right? And who's really controlling that. Um, but also in the chance that I friend request them, I want them to have that feeling of like, I think I know her. I think I know her, instead of like, what are you trying to sell me? Right. And so if I just give, and I hang out and I'm actually like a real person who has real opinions about stuff, I feel like that's the strongest way to like really cut out your brand and get people to like want to work with you.
When did you really start? Like how many years
Oh
ago?
God, I've been hanging out online for quite a while in one fashion or the next. If it wasn't mortgage, I was over here doing like spirituality stuff online, like running groups around spirituality and metaphysics. Yeah, because yeah, for me, I had babies at the time and I didn't have really, I didn't have the time or energy to be in person. And so I could hang out online better than I could hang out in person. Um, I was going to tell you some things about branding. Sometimes when people get online, they aren't willing to be their authentic self. They want to show up like everybody else.
Mhm.
But especially like right now with AI, everybody's really starting to look and sound the same. That I think
Yes.
there's a big opportunity for authentic creators out there. Sometimes the challenge when we income generate is that we don't want to like push any business away. So we don't want to say anything that might cause us to lose business. And I think that sometimes works against us. It's a hard thing to put yourself in a place where somebody may not want to work with you when you're when you got to bring the business in. Um, I don't know. I'd be willing to make a case working with the wrong client takes up space from working with the right one. Um, yeah.
Yeah, agreed for sure
Yeah.
on that. Which kind of, I guess, is a good segue into your women in mortgage community that you've built, which obviously attracts women brokers into your life, mortgage or loan originators. Um, but do you also attract a lot of female investors as well?
Yeah, I hang out in a short-term rental group that is specific to women, so I get a lot of clients through there. Um, yeah, and I think a lot of my branding kind of targets that person. Um, I really believe like when we start to look at our businesses, I like to reverse engineer into the type of client that I want to work with that bigger than that, it supports the kind of lifestyle that I want. And so for me, like ease and grace and like an easy business is where I'm looking to build right now. And so one of those was to get into maybe more my like ideal client right now is like a busy, experienced investor. Because before I didn't have those specific terms right there. I was just investors. And then I got people that were not. They needed too much hand holding, and I'm not a person that does hand holding really well. There are other people that can hand hold really well because they're really great teachers and they have the patience for that. And so I really learned over time to become really clear about who it is I wanted to work with and how I wanted to work. Um, like I don't I don't spend any phone time with clients, and that's a very specific kind of person that doesn't want to get on the phone. They have to be usually pretty busy. And that's a really good client for me, as opposed to other people. They might really love being on the phone with people. And so they carve their business out a little bit differently in how they market and stuff like that. I don't know why that
Mm.
came to me, but
That's really good though, because I think we've probably all had clients that just like call us and want to talk for hours.
Yeah.
yeah, that's not good. I just like doesn't put me in my highest and best to serve all my clients. This was also kind of along the conversation of being okay with losing business. Um, which is it's so scary when you income generate to lose business. But I remember I had this one client who was like, I worked with him a handful of times, um, handful of times, and he just was a little bit more needy than I had the capacity to entertain. And I remember he went to somebody else for a HELOC, and then he came to me, he wanted to get my opinion on it, and then he wanted me to do it, but he needed to get on the phone. And I was like, no. You don't seem to understand. I don't need the phone call. You need the phone call. I need one question. My question is, when are you closing? Because once you tell me when you're closing, I know where I need to send that and what we need to do, but I don't need a phone call. And it was like this shift that happened around like, I'll let you know if I need to talk to you, because right now I don't. And if I get on the phone call with a client that, for lack of a better word, is like an energy suck and is not building into me, that takes me out of my highest and best capacity to serve everybody else in all my other clients. And so I'm very particular about how I set my time up. And I mean, it's this is a wild thought. I know it's a wild thought when you're in sales, but like I don't answer my phone. My phone will literally say like, do not leave a message. I will not be returning them. Please text or email me. And I'm sure I lose some clients because of that, right? But I know for myself, like I need like heads up if you're calling, and I need to know what we're going to talk about because I'm an anxious person, and like somebody just calling me out of the blue, like I'm not ready for that. And so I've set up my business to work in a certain fashion. My clients know they can always text me and they can get a hold of me, but I'll screen every phone call that comes in. Like I don't take sales calls, I don't take meetings. I'm not available for that kind of a thing because I'm really only available for clients that need my support.
It's actually wild because I feel like I'm totally trained in the other method of like call everybody,
All
have
you
all these
answer your phone,
conversations. I'm like,
right?
this is a really big luxury that you don't talk to anybody and you're
Yeah,
generating so much business. Like it's a little
yeah,
bit like,
it is. Yeah. No, I don't answer it. You know what's so funny is that well, some people don't quite understand it because we were taught for a very long time we need to earn people's business. And then I learned this one year, this like I had given away so much money in concessions. Like, I don't know, like, somebody doesn't have a good time. You're like, okay, well, my commission was supposed to be 12 grand. Can I make 8? Okay, fine. I'll cut you a deal. I did this so much one year. It was like 50,000 by the end of the year. It was this big chunk of change. And I was like, what happened? Like, that's crazy. My volume is not equaling my paycheck because I had cut so much. And then I went back to it and I was like, what happened here? And what I found is it was really easy for me to give away money that I didn't earn because it wasn't in my bank account yet. If I had to write somebody a check first, I wouldn't have written those checks. And so now nobody gets a deal on the front end. And then I also learned my clients that were the biggest pain in the ass were the people that asked me to discount. Those were the ones I didn't want to work with again. Also the ones that there is this idea around like I had to earn your business, and so I earn it by discounting my fee, and then like I can make more on the second one. And the same thing with like phone calls. Every once in a while they could be like, oh, the agent says you're unavailable, and I'm like, no, that's not true, because this sounds horrible, I take my phone in the shower. Like my phone is in the shower, and there are times that I might pick it up and I might answer a text when I'm in the shower. So it's not the availability, it's just I know that for me, getting on a phone call is an energy drain for me. Like my personality, I don't do like small talk. It's like sucks the energy out of me. I like really deep conversations. And so phone time for me usually is an energy sucker for me. And so I always feel like, I don't know, like what can we not get out in an email? Or what can we not get out in or voice note? I love voice notes. Like I voice notes clients back and forth. I really like that because I feel like it honors everybody's boundaries. Like you may not be available right now, and that's okay, but here's a voice note for when you are available. One of the biggest tools that I started incorporating, I'm just like riffing for a second. One of the biggest tools I incorporate in my business now is this Loom, Loom.
yeah.
Yeah. Like fee sheets. I used to get, I know this sounds like anti-sales. I used to get bent out of shape when you send a fee sheet to a client and then a client wants to talk about it. And I'm like, you want to talk about that? You want to get on a call about the fee sheet? And I'm like, Paige, this is legit your job. Like your job is to explain fee sheets to people, and you're bent out of shape about it. And I was like, okay, how do I structure a business that's still going to give the client what they need, because they need to understand the fee sheet, but I can still maintain my peace and my energy. And so now it was like, oh, let me do the video, walk you through it. Great, now you have it. You can watch this 50 times if you need to. Let me know if you have questions. And it's like all these little places in my business of where can I cut things that maybe are distracting for me or take me out of like where I feel the best. And I think when we feel the best, we operate the best, and we're able to give the best to all of our clients.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really smart idea with the Loom. Do you use a lot of technology in running your business, like a CRM?
I don't use a CRM. I use Facebook kind of as my CRM. Tech wise, I don't really have a huge tech stack. I use Loom or a derivative of that. I just recently got over on Roam. Roam is just a tech that has a bunch of tech with inside of it. So it's got like a Zoom and a Loom and all these things to build out community. So I really like the Loom. To be honest with you, I use a lot of Chat GPT for creative work, but very mindful that we don't connect emails that have customer like client data in them. So I have a whole separate email that I can use with Chat that can do admin-y stuff, but it's separate than like my mortgage email so that it doesn't, expose anybody's data. But the new Chat work function is like wild. It can write emails for me if I need like emails. But I do a lot of my creation within Chat talking to it, and it does a lot of my social. I would say if you're going to use Chat for social graphics, you got to pare that stuff down because it looks like everybody like this enough with the swooshes. There's too much data. Get all the infographics off. So it's like whatever image it gives me first. We're going to probably need, I don't know, 5 or 6 reiterations of paring that image down so that it looks different. A lot of times people are putting these images out and it's like fire hosing. And the goal is to get everybody to see the image, but the goal is to get them to read the copy. And if you've like fire hosed them in the image, they're going to scroll right past it. So it's just really highly ineffective. But I use Chat a lot for like creative partnery stuff. Oh, also I throw, I don't know if you guys do this with your Chat, but I'll do like multiple estimates for clients. And then I'll throw those into Chat and be like, hey, I need you to do like the email to the client and then do the graph so they can see them all here to make it easy for them to understand. So that's been really helpful for clients. They seem to really appreciate the video and then like the chat thing. Let's see, what else do you want to know?
Well, this is a little bit off topic of that, but so do you still get like several different terms from different lenders, or you kind of have your go-to lenders that you like?
Yeah, so depends what product we're talking about. I do a lot of short-term rental. Short-term rental can be challenging because and I'm sure you guys know, in investor stuff, like there's no set guidelines. So everybody's got like all these little like, I don't know, idiosyncrasies from lender to lender. Short-term rental then like takes that to a whole nother level between, what you can and can't use and who lets you use what and how much of it and that kind of a thing. So my probably biggest time suck is placing loans. I do think that there's an opportunity there because not everybody's really well versed in it. So if you can really understand that product and who to do what with, in particular, like the burn model becomes a little challenging because of like that ground up, or not ground up, because of like not having a history and they want to take cash out. There's not a whole lot of lenders that'll let you do that. So knowing the ins and outs of that product and then having the tools, I spend like $5,000 a year on AirDNA so I can get in and do custom reports. Usually when I price to like if I'm going to do fix and flip, usually I do Kiavi, honestly, because Kiavi runs at 1 point on comp on their side. And so I can put my 2 in there. I do 2% comp on my side. I don't like to go above 3. And so almost everybody else is going to be like 1.5 costs. And then that cuts in what I can make. And I find their rates pretty doable. Most of my clients, I usually share with them, like, we want to be more mindful on points than we want to do on interest rate. Cause like you keep it for like 3 months. What are we talking about with like an extra couple $100 versus let me save you an extra point on your total loan amount. So I do them mostly unless it doesn't fit with them. Then I'll go outside of them. And then for debt service, I don't know what tech you guys are using for your origination software, but we use Arrive. So I usually go in there and see who's running a good price. That does well in short-term rental.
So are those lenders, you're probably for that stuff using more of the non-QM type, the conventional lenders who have the non-QM.
Yeah. Right now I'm using ARC mostly because they're pricing really well. They don't have an ad for short term. Yeah, I usually don't, because a lot of the guys that are not in wholesale, they don't have real good short-term rental guides. Like Kiabi's doesn't have good short-term rental guides. A lot of the guys that would typically do your fix and flip, they're just not STR friendly. So usually I have to go other places with them. Or their
Yeah.
pricing isn't as competitive, but that's just been my experience.
Makes sense. Oh, Kevin's home.
All right.
No, that makes total sense. We get a lot of pushback when we have borrowers that we try to send through those lenders because of all of like the extra documentation that they want. I don't know if you get that kind of feedback.
No, what kind of documentation? What extra stuff?
Just like, I guess,
Verification of mortgages on
yeah.
every, if it shows up on
Oh.
credit, like all these like
Yeah.
extra, like, oh, this property, whatever, your wife's, information and all of
Yeah,
that stuff.
every once in a while they want to be a little silly. By and large, most of the mortgages, if they're on the personal credit, I'll have to verify them, which is fine. Almost always they pop. I don't know if you guys are you guys seeing a lot of commercial lenders starting to report debt service to creditors? No? Okay. Yeah.
No.
Well, that's one of the things I've noticed the past couple months I'm seeing more, not commercial lenders like straight up, but in like the wholesale, they end up over at Shell Point or SPS or whatever. And then for whatever reason they start reporting or having to go through that process to get them off the credit. That's kind of been a little bit of an issue lately. Let's see. I don't know how much business you guys do outside of like debt service or fix and flip, but I really like asset utilization program. Really, it's like if you just have enough money it's for people that have like high asset. If they have enough money to cover the loan amount plus 5 years service, there's nothing else to provide. And you can do that across all proper, like primary, secondary, or investment. But it's so easy. That would be like the next product. If I didn't do investor, I would run that product. I would blow that one up. And I would do like financial advisors, anybody that like is self-employed, that could be a good one for too. But I just always think like people that have a lot of money usually have good credit. And then if I can make it the least amount of documentation I can do.
Yeah.
Like, how do I make my business?
Because if they're busy, they don't want to do all the documents.
Yeah.
Who's funding those kind of deals?
Yeah, so you can get asset utilization. I don't know if you guys are playing in the wholesale place, but like OCMB is like the master bank that has it. They have a bunch of people running out their own P&Ls under it. So it's like Forward, Lending Pros, Loan Stream, Giant. There's probably another. They all run off the same guides. They're separate P&L, separate management. So theirs is really good because theirs is just the loan amount and 5 years service. I want to say the Loan Store might have also recently picked that up. The Loan Store also has a cool product. It's like the all-in-one HELOC. Have you guys seen that? It's like it is for clients that have high cash flow, and it could be variable, but it works like a checking account / HELOC. It sweeps at the end of every day, I guess, and it pays down the mortgage, and you can pay mortgages off in like 5-7 years. But it's a very specific client, but that's a good fit if you're working with like financial planners. They seem to really love that product.
Yeah.
And like nobody talks about it. So like nobody talks about asset utilization. Like nobody's out there just saying, hey, if you got enough money to cover the loan amount, like we're good to go. So from a branding,
You mean from your business, like you have enough cash flow coming in on your business alone?
so for the asset utilization, it's just assets in the bank. So like if you have a client, if you have a client that like say they've got, I don't know, 500,000 in the bank, and you don't want, there's like no debt, like DTI. So you could do the asset depletion, which is like asset as income, where I take 500 divide by whatever, 36, 60, whatever, you have an income from that, and then you run out a debt ratio. That's one way. And that may or may not work depending on how many other debts they have and properties and stuff like that. Or a client, if they have $500,000 and they're going to go out there and buy, say, a $400,000 house. And so after 400, right, like you have X amount left to cover the taxes and insurance, like you're good to go. So they don't have to put the 400 in, they'll put their 20% down or whatever that is. But if you have whatever to cover the loan amount plus 5 years of service, there's no debt ratio. We don't need any other documentation. So I have some clients, like I had an author, he was a professor, author on sabbatical. He's like, I don't have an income, but I've got, I don't know, $1 million in a marketing, in a, investment account. Okay, sounds good. Like that's all we need. Just send me the bank account. And so, yeah, it makes it, I really love that product. It's so easy.
What was the pricing on that?
Depending on credit score and what's it called? LTV, but it's not far off any other like regular like non-QM pricing. It was, I mean, for somebody not to provide anything, I mean, if you've got a going rate of like 6.5, it might be like 7.25. I don't know if you guys have you guys priced bank statement? Do you guys do any primary stuff or only investor?
Only investor.
Okay. I was gonna say bank statement pricing. I've been telling like bank statement pricing for primary, it's like no different, an eighth of a rate different from
that's
one
nice.
to the. It's like, dude, write off all your income that you can. Let's go bank statement because you'll save more in taxes. It's like the conversation I'm having. Even the conversation from traditional mortgage right now is it's like 6.5 is the going rate. And then when I do debt service, we throw a prepay on it. I'm like, you're buying a non-owner property and it's the same rate as an owner occupied property. And it's, I think a lot of people do, it's like, it doesn't even make sense. I'm like, please don't go conventional. Even if you're buying an investment property, don't do it because the rate's so high. Like the non-QM space is like the rates are not impacted as much as your traditional rates. And so those clients are like still buying because of it, which is great.
Yeah. I saw an ad today somebody had for like, they said 5.5%. Trying to remember who it was because it was somebody kind of well known. Like, oh, it was Loan Guys. Are they they're in Lender Base, aren't they, Alex? Loan Guys?
No.
No. Okay.
I have not seen a rate sheet down to 5.5 lately. I just looked for
Right.
like a client to be like, what would be the lowest rate we could get you on debt service? I was like 6%, I think was the lowest anybody had out on published rate. But not to say they're not doing off sheet pricing. Also, I don't know if you guys look at, I don't know how you guys run your comp or not. Do you guys do like taking the YSP on the back? So yeah, what I've noticed, it wasn't like this a while ago. The incremental like buckets for the YSP, it makes way more sense right now for my clients for me not to charge them. Because what I'll like usually like do like, okay, what if I charge you, if I run a 2 comp, what's the base rate, like the par rate, and I charge you 2, what's maybe 1 on the back, 1 on the front, and then what's 2 on the back, and then run it out like how long are you going to keep that house. Most of them, it makes way more sense for me just to get paid on the back and not charge them anything. I also like not charging them anything because there's like no friction, right? It's like the first time that they see the charge, it's like they're not even like they're like their walls are up. So if I can just pass nothing to them, it feels like it sets that relationship up a little bit better than them experiencing that they have to pay anything.
Yeah. I know I've had some brokers that I talked to that's their whole thing is they're like, I never charge, you will never pay me a fee. And they just always put it on the back end.
Yeah.
So.
I also make sure that not every lender is like this, like how they disclose. I don't know if this happens on the commercial side when we run out the YSP. Sometimes like they'll do it borrower paid, so it'd be like the charge and then it credits back, but it's like you got to get to the second page to see the credit. My client's already freaking out when they saw the charge. They haven't even gotten to that. So then making sure like, no, just take it on the YSP. Like just don't do like charge and credit. Like just if you can also not show them, that would be great. Yeah, I don't like to really show them.
Yeah.
Which is the best part about, I think, commercial loans is the ability to get paid when not have your clients see that.
Yes. Yeah.
What other, you guys have any other questions that I can answer for you?
I don't have anything else. I'm just curious. That was actually, I think walking into these, you don't really know what to expect, but that was just so much info about things that I don't really deal with usually.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes me not want to talk to my clients as much anymore.
You're like,
Are
how can I
you,
make that happen?
hey, Paige, are you licensed? Are you an NMLSer
I am. Yeah, I do have
in
a license.
California?
I have one in California, I have one in Arizona, Colorado, Florida, and Kentucky.
There you
The
go.
other,
Now we have a connection.
yeah, the other states are kind of newer. I needed Arizona because Arizona, you have to have a license to do some of this stuff. It makes it kind of hard without it. And then the other ones were either my investor clients that needed to go like bank statement, and then I needed to have the license for that, or an investor client in Kentucky doing their primary home.
Yeah, I was wondering about Kentucky. It seemed like kind of an odd choice.
It's random, right?
Out of like,
Yeah.
okay, California, Arizona, Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, no, an investor client of mine for their primary house. I was like, oh man, I was telling her, I was like, they want to do a one-time close, which is like doing like your own primary, like it's all in one, right? It'll convert to like it's ground up, it'll convert to long-term takeout at the end. And I was like, I can refer you to somebody. And she's like, I don't want to work with anybody. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't really want to do this loan because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard loan, but okay. Let's see.
You put up
How
this
long does it even
front
take
like,
to get that license? Oh,
And
okay,
so there's a good amount of the states are real easy, like no CE. It's basically just get online, file for it, pay for it. Every once in a while, like Florida, I had to get an extra set of fingerprints. I might have had to do like an hour of CE. Every once in a while, you got to do an extra set of fingerprints, which seems real dumb because you're like, we already did this, but there's a good amount that like just the one licensing will open you up. And then every once in a while, like Georgia's like that, you just pay for it. Every once in a while, you might have to take a couple of hours, an hour here, maybe 2 hours there of additional CE. And then maybe get a bond here and there. But yeah, it's not hard once you have like the national license.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
this was so informative and I learned more than I thought I would. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we'll go fight. If you guys hang out on, Facebook or Instagram, that's kind of where I'm at. Feel free to come hang out, say hi. Kevin, I don't know if I'm gonna get over on LinkedIn. Or maybe I should go join your group and you can share with me what the heck happens over there.
Yeah, I did hear that they're gonna have like a new tag in LinkedIn, like where you can say that, hey, this is AI. If somebody posts something, you can like the other users can tag it as AI because so many people are just using AI to write everything over there.
Yeah. Can you connect your AI to LinkedIn? Like, does it automatically post for you or like,
You probably could with Claude,
um,
I'm guessing.
I don't know.
You know what, Paige? I just want to make one comment. You said that everything in AI is starting to look alike. You couldn't be more correct than that. It's so starting to get even the like a promo, like what we used to call a tear sheet or one page.
Yeah, a one pager. Yeah.
Everyone's looking like it's generated by AI, and it's like, oh gosh, and it's so overloaded with
Yeah.
information
It's too
that
much information. Yeah.
it's too much. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of like, I can share with you, like having to tell chat, like, I need one
Yeah.
message, one
Right.
message, and like take all this nonsense. It's like overload. I mean, even just, I think that will make you stand out in the marketplace right now is if you just put out graphics that look more organic than like what everybody else is doing. It's just like nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
just goes past.
I put my LinkedIn group in the chat if anybody.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm gonna go join it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'll go join it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Kevin, do you do
Chrissy,
anything? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say with the group, I know like I see you post and stuff. What else happens with it? Like
It's an interesting question. It's mostly like what you just said, it's people posting, and I try to keep the crap out or the uh, uh, if it's off of topic, I get them out. I even don't like regular residential people on it promoting resi loans programs. I don't allow that. So I try to keep it on the mission of private money, hard money, and commercial mortgages. And so, but yes, it's just really, but I know there's a core group who are always on, and I know some of them have found really good lenders and or deals from it. So, they kind of report to me and let me know. But if I ever get the time, I wanted to do an interview show once a week on there and just to do an hour like you do here. But I just haven't had the time to really put that together. So, but I think I would get more interaction then.
You definitely
Yeah.
should do that. Just like, so before I had Notorious, and Notorious is the women's group, I would just like create stuff online. It's like, if you can get your face on flyers, like even if you create them, people are like, "Ooh, look at your face on a flyer." If you can start to like host a show, there's something about you being in the interview position. People are like, "Ooh, Kevin knows what he's talking about." Kevin may or may not know what he's talking about. Nobody cares. It's all about if people think Kevin knows what he's talking about.
Well, it's all about the perception, right? Of that.
100%. And so I
Yeah.
used to do this show called Short-Term Rental Confidential. And there we go. Sorry about that. We produced it like a show. Like, I'm like, this is just some silly live stream that we're doing. But I did the graphics. We put it out there like it was a thing. And then I was like, nobody even has to like watch the show. But then people would be like, you know what? I missed your show. Where are we gonna go next? I'm like, oh, we're gonna go to like, I don't know, the whatever coast, Florida, or wherever we're going. And people thought it was real. And so I took that same idea when I had Notorious, and somebody wanted to take a trip, and I was like, okay, we'll go to Cabo, but what are we going to do to like make it a business trip, and also how do we make more money going to Cabo? And I was like, let's film a YouTube show. So I fly out a filmmaker that I work with. He's amazing. But I was told him, like, listen, I don't care if anybody watches the show. I don't care if the content's any good. But what it does is when your audience sees me putting out this stuff, look at so-and-so on this YouTube show, it automatically gives them credibility. And it's like building know, like, trust. Like online, you can get people to know you, you can get people to like you, but that trust factor is where they determine if they're going to work with you or not. And so, yeah, that's like why, your friend from high school, we're always like, why didn't you use me for a mortgage? And it was like, because she didn't trust you. And so how do we create that? It's like that third party verification. And then you can use that one thing over and over. So yeah, definitely.
You become the expert. It really gives you the expert in their people's minds. I get all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Fantastic.
Put it on the calendar, Kevin.
The what?
Put it on the calendar.
I will, definitely. Hey, Christy, I want to say something before we end.
Okay.
I saw Amped ad come up on my feed, so I went to it. Wow, I want to tell you, that is one of the best ads for almost anything I ever seen. I'm telling you, it was so comprehensive. And I'm just not blowing smoke. I won't do that. I'm from New Jersey. I won't do that.
I've seen,
but you know what? It was so good. You answered every question and in detail. Not you and Brandon, I know. But
yeah, Brandon does the landing page. So.
Oh my God, it was just. I thought it was great. So give him my compliments on that. And I will be back.
Was it for the CRM or was it for the Legion?
Legion.
Okay, because I was like, we just launched ads like yesterday for the CRM with the LOS. So
yeah, it was Legion. It was great. It was just terrific.
Well, I'll tell him.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I don't think you could do better. I mean, it was just you covered every question possibly somebody like me could ask.
That's awesome.
So,
thanks,
really
Kevin.
Tell your friends.
Hey, we have a referral program, Kevin, for your LinkedIn group if you want to. for not just for the group, but for the CRM, which actually you could, if you get that LinkedIn group going, you could you could just live off that money, off your referral fees. We'll talk about it.
Give me some, email me some ads that I could post. Give me an affiliate link or whatever.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, we're working. We're working on the affiliate part of that. But yeah, it pays out pretty good. Okay, awesome. Sorry, sidetrack. I didn't pay him to do that, so you know.
I know, I still have to get on and look at all the things that you guys are building.
But I'm sending the bill anyway.
Well, thanks again for
Yeah,
coming.
you're welcome.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, Paige, awesome to meet you.
We'll post this.
Yep.
And do you have a YouTube channel?
We do. Not for my personal mortgage business, but we have it for Notorious. So it's Notorious WMN across all platforms. And that's where we highlight women in the mortgage industry and their stories. So yeah.
Okay, great. Well, if you want, we can post this on YouTube and tag you and collaborate. So
sounds good. Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah, come find me. And then if you guys ever have any questions, hit me up.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Excellent presentation, Paige. Excellent.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Yeah,
It's
that
nice
was a
meeting
lot
you.
of fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.